warm welcome to Mining Review Africa, coming to you from DRC Mining Week 2024. Sir, thank you for joining us. Please can you introduce yourself and tell us which company you represent?
So thank you very much. My name is Jonathan Muga. I look after the infrastructure sector for Standard Bank, which involves working with our countries where we are present, as well as our international offices, to be able to deliver the infrastructure agenda to our clients.
Okay, now obviously infrastructure has been a key talking point at this year's DRC Mining Week.
Yes.
So what are the drivers of successful infrastructure investment, and which of these should be the focus in the DRC?
So that's a very interesting question. So the way I look at it is, for you to have successful infrastructure investment, you need to prepare, you need to plan, you need to prioritize which projects you need to deliver. Because interestingly, there's a quote from Africa Development Bank that only 10% of projects that start the feasibility journey actually get to financial close. So for DRC, we see a big opportunity for them, one, to focus on infrastructure that allows them to trade. They've got lots of minerals, so they need to trade fast, and then they need to solve for the enablers around the trade focused on minerals, which includes energy, which includes logistics, includes transport, rail, and road, and then ultimately also do something for the people to improve livelihoods, which then focuses on social infrastructure. Water is important, waste management is important, and housing.
Now, Jonathan, Standard Bank has had a presence in the DRC for a number of years. Tell me about the experience and expertise that you bring to this country that can not only help build infrastructure, but also encourage investor potential.
Yeah, so Standard Bank is the largest bank in the continent. We offer a full range of services, all the way from serving corporates to serving the retail. In DRC in particular, we see a big opportunity, one, to work and partner with the country around choosing the projects that are going to deliver growth to DRC. We also see a role for us in advising clients on which are the most optimal funding options whenever they're looking at projects. And lastly, we can also provide financing to projects that are considered feasible, have been planned well, and can support the country. So we've got various ways we can work with both the public sector and the private sector to be able to deliver on the aspirations of DRC.
Okay. I want to touch on what you mentioned about working with the private sector and the public sector. And obviously collaboration is so important. How can both sectors come together in order to support infrastructure development in the DRC?
So that's a really big one for DRC. If you look at DRC being blessed with cobalt, I think they have 70% of the cobalt in the world. They have a lot of the copper, and it's growing. The last figures I looked at were 220% in the next 5 years. They have got manganese, they've got lithium, they have got zinc as a start. So there's a lot of resources in DRC. Private sector is already doing a lot to be able to mine those resources. Private sector can also play a role in transportation of those resources. And DRC is centrally and strategically placed in the copper belt to be able to use very many of the transport corridors, either going east to, for example, Dar es Salaam or Beira, or going west to Lobito, which is very topical, or going further down to Luanda or Walvis Bay. So there is a number of players, both in the mining space, in the logistics space, and broadly infrastructure developers who are very keen to bring their capital to unlock some of those opportunities. But they do need an enabling environment. And this is where public sector comes in, to be able to provide the right frameworks for the capital to move, contracts that are sustainable and fundable is a very critical one. So we look forward to working with the government entities, the ones who take care of the rail, the ones who operate the roads, the ones who run the electricity networks, to be able to create those opportunities in a way that is fundable, and for private sector money to then come in and make sure that those projects are able to be implemented and the DRC is successful in its trade and economic growth.
Absolutely. Jonathan Muga of Standard Bank, thank you very much for joining us on Mining Review Africa today.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure to talk to you.